Now let's talk the best business investments in 2021. Now look, there are a lot of scammy, weird, get rich quick investment videos out there right now, and I promise you this is not one of those videos. But with no exaggeration, this investment strategy, this secret, uncommon investment strategy has made me over $3.5 million just in the last 3.5 years alone. And no, I'm not talking about my franchise businesses that I've owned. I'm also not talking about my stock or mutual fund or ETF portfolio that I've been investing and pumping money into heavily. And I'm not talking about any of the real estate investments that I've made or properties that I've bought or sold in the last 5 or 10 years. And then this has nothing to do with the fact that I've managed over $100 million in assets for my clients, having had my investment licenses for 13 years. Now, I did have access to some pretty cool investment strategies, but that's not what we're talking about in this video. Well, so then what investment strategy am I talking about? Hang around for just a little bit because I'm going to talk about it and reveal it in the beginning of this video, unlike many YouTubers out there. But this investment strategy has helped my wife and I go on dream vacations that, man, I really always dreamed were possible and never really knew if I could. And now that we have a little son, we've been able to take him with us and enjoy an amazing quality of life as a family. I also was able to buy one of my dream cars, a Range Rover Sport, which I'll tell you is a lot of fun to drive, and it's got some really cool red interior. And it also helped buy this dream home in California that my wife and I bought when we were living in California. But hang on for a second, because this video is not what you think, and you're going to want to stick around for this. But I only show you these things because I want you to know that this investment strategy works. Because if I can do it, then you can definitely do it. And I want to share this uncommon investment strategy with you in just a little bit. And the only reason why I tell you and show you those other things is because I want you to know that this investment strategy works. It gets results. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the strategy is, how you can use it in your life, and how you can start putting it in motion right now if you choose after this video is over with just as little as $10 or $20 and start getting amazing results and start to create an ROI. ROI stands for return on investment. And that return on investment could transform the quality of your life, your family's life, your friends' life, the people around you, and the people that you're able to impact. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I am going to share with you some really, really powerful and exciting things. And this video could be the life-changing video that you've been wanting to watch. So let's jump in. All right, so if you're new here, welcome. My name is Tariq Johnson. I built a multi-million-dollar franchise business owning multiple locations 2,500 miles away from each other. Now, for some of you who are returning, I know that everything looks a little bit different. It is just plain white. Well, my wife and I recently signed a 3-year lease in this commercial space. We have this really cool office, and so I'm still gonna be setting up my YouTube studio, and it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to design it. Can't wait to share it with you. We just moved in 2 days ago and I wanted to make sure to get this video out for you. So most of my channel is all about making money and building wealth through owning a business and being an entrepreneur. This was a dream of mine for so long. And after having invested over $300,000 in our first franchise location, getting it profitable in 60 days, and then I wrote my 7-step blueprint, we've already had over 1,000 people that have downloaded the 7-step blueprint to business profits in 60 days. So make sure you grab it. It's completely free. It will show you exactly how to create a profitable business in any industry and at any time. The link will be in the description below, or you can go to tariqjohnson.com and grab it there. So what is this secretive, super special investment that I'm talking about? Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to do like some of those other YouTubers do and drag it out for the entire video. I'm going to share it with you now up front, and then I'm going to explain to you how you can use it in your life and how it worked for me, and a little bit about my story and the impact that this investment had on me and some of those investments that I made specifically. So the best business investment you can make this year is in You Inc. No, not that kind of You Inc. You. The best business investment you can make is in yourself. Have you ever heard of Warren Buffett? He is arguably the greatest investor of all time. Warren Buffett is so famous for saying, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. Example, about 15 years ago, I started buying personal growth books, going to business seminars, hiring business coaches, hiring life coaches, reading all sorts of books. And by the time I was 22, because I had just kept buying books and buying programs and going to seminars and hiring coaches, I had made, I had accumulated about $15,000 in credit card debt. Pretty much all from books, programs, CDs, courses, coaches. Now you might go, that doesn't really sound like a good investment. Well, what happened was I wound up getting some of my investment licenses, and I'll tell you that story in a little bit, so make sure you stick around. Let me show you some of these programs that I invested in. Look at this. So this one here is something called Mastering Influence by Tony Robbins. This one was called The Science of Getting Rich by Bob Proctor and Michael Bernard Beckwith. This is a Tony Robbins thing that is very interesting. That's a magazine. These are Tony Robbins courses. Let's see. You can see here. This is just, everything else is in storage. I got a ton of it. I got a ton of stuff from Bob Proctor, You Were Born Rich, Laurel Langmeyer, all sorts of stuff here. I think you get the point. So all of those programs right there that are in that bag, that's probably at least a few $1,000s worth of programs and courses and different things that I invested in. But let me give you something more concrete. Those books, those programs, those CDs, they provided me with the strategies, the tools, the tactics, the courage, the confidence that led to me buying this car, that led to us buying this house and traveling to these places. So I want you to make the correlation here, is that bag seems just like this canvas bag that has this material in it. But one idea is very profound. And one idea from a book can literally make you millions of dollars, billions of dollars. And I don't even want to exaggerate here, because I know that it's so easy to just make these claims of like, you can make millions of dollars, and it doesn't really land. But I want you to imagine for a second that you want to start a business, and let's say you want to make $100,000 a year. So if you're looking to make $100,000 a year in a new business, in your mind it might seem like, I have no idea what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't have the knowledge. I don't know anything about business. How do I get the clients? You're thinking all these things, these doubts, these insecurities. What do I do? How do I figure it out? You read one book, you read one program, and you get one idea, one concept, right? Maybe the concept is in one of Tony Robbins' programs where he goes, first you have to have a strategy. Define what your strategy is. Then you have to actually take action on that strategy. If you have not been taking action on that strategy, you've got to get yourself in an emotional state of confidence and certainty to be able to follow through, so that you can stop procrastinating, so that you feel that sense of confidence and move forward and take action, right? And then you've got to have that unshakable mindset where if you fail, if it doesn't work, if you feel doubt, if someone tells you no, that you're willing to get up and try it again and have this mindset of just like, hey, I'm relentless. I'm going to succeed no matter what. So imagine just one idea could help you make that $100,000. So when I started investing in myself, I was working at Ace Hardware, making $6 an hour. I started out as a cashier there, and then I would also load manure into people's cars and topsoil and mulch and all sorts of different things. And I read my first personal development book when I was working at Ace Hardware. And that book taught me that what we think about, and when we set a clear vision and a target, that we can create what it is that we want in life. Now, I was young. I was 18 years old, making $6 an hour. This was a foreign concept to me. And so you might be aware of this concept, but knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. It doesn't matter what you know. Like, people love to say, like, oh, I know that. Oh, Tariq, you know what? I'm not going to hang around for the rest of this video because I've heard this. I've heard the best investment you can make is in yourself. Yeah, but are you doing it? Are you living it in your life? Because one of my good friends who has a podcast, Josh Trent from Wellness Force, I had just saw one of his posts the other day where it was, knowledge that doesn't go applied is just entertainment. And I was like, whoa, that blew my mind. So amazing. But so after I got that first book, I decided that I wanted to pursue a more professional job and a more professional career. So I went from making $6 an hour at Ace Hardware to making $10.22 an hour as a teller at a bank. I got to dress up for work and wear a suit. It just felt a lot different than coming home with literally manure all over myself from loading manure into people's cars. But then I got that job at the bank. And then I kept reading and learning more about personal finance, more about investing. And I kept buying books and reading books and implementing it. And then so eventually I wind up getting my investment licenses when I was 19 years old. But here's the thing. I had to invest $500 in the program and in the test fees in order to take my investment licenses. At the time, I maybe had like $700 to my name. So basically I was taking, and I was living with my parents, guys. So like I didn't have, like I think 7-Eleven was getting most of my money at the time. Lots of gummy bears and candy and sodas and all kinds of silly stuff. But that's a lot of money, as at that time I was just about 19 years old. That's a lot of money as a 19-year-old to go out and take the risk of like paying for these investment licenses and exams. But I wind up passing those tests and I wind up getting my investment licenses. Those investment licenses then helped me land a job at the bank because I dropped out of school. Dropped out of school when I was 19, right after I got my investment licenses. My mindset was that with these licenses, I can go out and make money. I don't need a college degree. I now have specialized knowledge, something they talk about in the book, Think and Grow Rich. So I'm thinking, okay, well, let me go get my career started. So then I landed a job making $35,000 a year when I was 20 years old. I felt like I was high rolling. $35,000 a year. At that time, I was driving this beat up Honda Civic. It had a crease in the hood of the Honda Civic. The heat and the AC didn't work. I had like this 40-minute commute to this company that I was working at where I had my investment licenses. I was in an all commission role and I was totally terrible. I wasn't making any money. I was busting my butt working 12 hours a day, and I was paying my dues. So then I wound up leaving that opportunity, getting that job at the bank, and then I bought this Infiniti G35 and I was like, oh, it was just like amazing. I felt like a king at the time. It was so exciting. And I remember one of these programs that I was listening to, one of these, I think it might have been this one, You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. But Bob Proctor had asked this question: what if you could turn your monthly income into your annual income? Man, I thought about that. And at the time, $35,000 was seemed like a lot of money to make a year based on, where I had come in a short period of time. In 2 years, I went from making $6 an hour to $35,000 a year. And I thought, wow, imagine that. What if that was possible? So I kept going to more and more business programs. I kept going to seminars. I kept hiring coaches. I kept investing in myself. And I'm just going to fast forward through the story here. But about 6 or 7 years later, when I was working as a financial advisor in California, when my wife and I were living in our dream home, I wind up having my very first month of making $35,000 in a month. And I remember that moment of really, it was surreal to me, thinking like, whoa, I did it. I just turned my annual income into my monthly income. And at that point, you know, when people who have made a lot of money or talk about money say it's not about the money, I mean, I remember when I didn't have money and I was like, no, all my problems are definitely going to be solved when I have money. But it isn't about the money. It's really about what you can do, what you can experience, how you can help other people. Like, what can you do for your family by turning your annual income into your monthly income? What sort of charities can you help? What sort of experiences can you create for yourself, your family, your loved ones? What sort of impact can you have on the world? It's a lot easier to have impact when you have money. So what's funny is I just pulled out this book and I just flipped to a random page, but the book is called Lead Yourself to Others. And it talks about keep improving yourself. There's a big difference between knowing intellectually what was taught at a course on creating stained glass windows and actually going home and making one. Learning how what was taught actually works in practice. When you begin to apply what was taught, you learn what was meant. The point of me sharing this is that some of these things that I learned, they gave me the confidence, they gave me the skill sets, they gave me the tools to be able to move forward, right? When I was 20 years old and working at that first job at the bank, I had the idea of owning a franchise. And at the time, I didn't have any money, I didn't have a net worth, I didn't have any assets, I was still living with my parents. I just started to make money, but I didn't yet know about and had learned that like, hey, you gotta manage your money properly. Like buying that Infiniti G35 probably was not the best move, right? Like spending money doing all these fun things and going to the bar and hanging out with my friends, and it probably was not the best idea. So I was learning and learning and learning, eventually wind up building a multi-million-dollar franchise business, right? So these tools and strategies are powerful. I'll wrap up with this story here that I want to tell you about. When I sold my first franchise location in September 2020, it was after we had our biggest sales month since we had been open in 3 years, and it was amazing. We were able to sell it for multiple six figures. It was an exciting exit out of the franchise. And as soon as I sold the franchise, I knew that I wanted to build a YouTube channel and a business and a brand online, helping people, teaching people about business and what I learned and about owning a franchise and buying a franchise and all of the mistakes about franchising and all the things you need to learn about franchising or investing in franchising or starting a business or being an entrepreneur. I think you get the point. And so I decided I was going to hire a business coach. And I hired this coach and I decided to pay in full. And what I can tell you is that over that 6-month period of hiring the coach, I 3x'd the money that I had invested for that coach. 3x'd it. When you think about the foundation and all the actions that I built up, like that's gonna be 100, 1,000x in a period of time. But literally from me investing and working with that coach, we were able to collaborate and come up with specific strategies, specific tactics and tools and mindsets for me to move forward with growing my business. And so when that 6 months was over, it was easy for me to make the decision to continue to work together. Because literally, when I look back at the money that was generated from my online business, if it wasn't for working with my coach, I wouldn't have created that money. Because I can specifically link the sales and revenue back to our coaching sessions and strategies that my coach had helped me figure out and then hold me accountable to implement. And outside of just the strategy, sometimes I probably wouldn't have actually done the work and took the actions and got it done if it wasn't for the fact that it was like, oh crap, I got a call with my coach again And I'm not going to show up to the call and say, hey, I didn't take the actions that I committed to doing on our last call. So sometimes I got it done just for the fact that I didn't want to be embarrassed and called out on our call for not getting the action done. So let me know what your thoughts are on investing in yourself. Are you doing it right now? What sort of strategies and investments in yourself have you made? What sort of courses, books, programs did you like? And what type of return did you get? Did it work for you? And if it didn't work for you, tell me why you think it didn't. And what I would recommend is to leave this video and invest in yourself. Take some sort of action. It doesn't have to be a big action. It doesn't have to be thousands of dollars, but buy a book. Maybe buy a book on investing in real estate, or investing in the stock market, or buying a franchise, or how to have more confidence, or how to start a business, or how to get a business loan. Whatever it is, do something to invest in yourself, or hire a coach, right? A lot of the coaching clients that I work with now to help them create and start their business and transition from employee to entrepreneur, man, I feel this sense of duty and excitement in working with them because I know what it's like to be on that other side. And I know what it's like to take that risk and be scared to make that investment in yourself and really feel excited about accomplishing the vision and the goal and the dream and wanting to see that return on investment. So make an investment in yourself, buy a book, buy a course, hire a coach, do something. Because remember, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. I will see you on the next one.